Hey guys, Andy from Andy Goblin Fishing in Central West Virginia Fishing Intel. Hey, I'm going to talk a little bit about our flipping jigs, and I kind of got a new flipping jig I've been working on for a while, and I partnered with the fine folks that get the net hooks, and we're doing a flipping jig. We make it in, I'm going to go over the head with you first, and I'm going to tell you how we designed it or what we wanted in that head. I make it in two sizes. We make it in a 3/8 ounce and a 1/2 ounce. Both of them have a 5-watt Gamakatsu hook in it, and that's what we wanted. We wanted a 5-watt hook. We wanted a weed guard that came back right to the hook point. You can trim if you want to. I wanted the cross eye. I wanted an Arky style head. I wanted a place for my collar for my skirt to go, and I wanted a place, a keeper for my soft plastic if I wanted to thread a soft plastic on. Now you notice that it doesn't have a wire keeper or a pointed type keeper, and there's a reason for that. I'll show you that later in the video of why that I wanted that. So we have a powder coated baked on head, so it's kind of chip resistance. Like I said, we make it in 3 sizes and 3 colors. Brown, green pumpkin, and black. 3/8 ounce, 1/2 ounce. So that's kind of what we do. Now we're going to go on to the skirt. The skirt I wanted was a living rubber skirt made with round rubber, and I tested this quite a bit. You can see right here, this is a round rubber, living rubber skirt. And I started off with, a lot of people use a 50 count rubber, 50 count for their skirt, 50 strands. Some use a 60 strand. I happen to use, I tried a 50, I tried a 60, and I went to a 55. And the 55 seemed to flare out and do everything that I wanted it to do. So when you look at the jig right here, here's a 1/2 ounce jig with a chunk on it. And when you look at that, you can see how it flares out. So that was what I wanted. Here's the reason that I wanted that style of hook keeper. Because a lot of times, whenever I'm flipping and pitching, and you're using a chunk like this is a Zoom Salty, or this happens to be a Catch 'em Lures big chunk, but the Zoom Salty same size. Your chunk will go around and it'll catch on that hook keeper, on your plastic keeper. I didn't want that, so I wanted it like this. As you can see, I have this one trimmed right to the hook. We went with a 5-watt Gamakatsu hook. This is a really stout hook. I have the 5-watt, like I said, in the 3/8 here and the 1/2 ounce. Now, when you're looking at the threaded on version, I can make this jig smaller by using a threaded on version. This happens to be a super chunk from Zoom. As you can see, I have it threaded up on. What I like to do when I thread mine on, I'll take a little brush of glue, I'll put it right there, and I'll thread it on. And that way it's not going to come off, and it's not going to get caught up on anything. As you can see, this one here, I've trimmed it down. So you got a nice flared skirt with that on it. Now, if you go to the big chunk, now look at here. I've got a jig that I can make 1 inch smaller than I do with the big super chunk on it, with the big #1 type chunk on it. So that's kind of the way we designed that. We designed it in like 7 different colors, with 3 different head designs. I'll go over in part 2, I'll go over with the water clarity and things I like to fish with that there. And I'll show you some pictures of some fish with this, down its throat, and how the hook, penetrates in it. And I'll show you maybe a video of a couple fish catches of like a 5 and 6 pound fish, to show you that it does work. But I'm real excited about this jig. I've been flipping and pitching jigs since the early 80s, which has been a long time. I've went through the Stanley jigs, the Lunker Lure Rattleback jigs, all the homemade jigs that guys made, and this is kind of what I wanted. So this is kind of the way we designed it, was kind of the way that I wanted it. So until next time, guys, hey, thank you all very much. And these should be available at Get the Net Hooks, pretty soon. We're building skirts and things for them now. So thank you guys very much.